I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job.
The working environment needs to be fun. Everything you're doing in life needs to be fun.
How do we support our own institutions? How do we support our own businesses?
We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own town, he's not in a moral position to tell the white man that he's discriminating against him.
And instead of breaking somebody down, I look at what they do great and I go, wow, people that love and really want great for themselves go, what are they doing right?
What's good? Welcome to another special quarantine edition of It's Black It's Lit. I'm your host, Town, here in the lab at the Visionary headquarters. And today I'm joined by the brilliantly black and talented Mr. Osyrus Bolly. What's going on, bro?
Doing, bro?
Man, we hanging in there, just trying to transition this grind. It don't stop, it just transition.
Already.
Well, man, we definitely appreciate you stopping by the show today, and we're excited to talk about all the work that you're doing in Little Rock and around the community, man. But for starters, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
And I'm from Southwest Little Rock, man. You know, born and raised in the city, man. And you know, so that was my stomping grounds, man. You know, like growing up, I went to McClellan High School. That's what high school I graduated from, man. And I just lived in Southwest my whole life, me and my siblings and my parents. So, yeah, man, that's where I'm from, man. It's always representing Southwest to the fullest, you know.
Already. So, when did you initially get interested in community work and becoming a community servant?
I say initially, man, when I first really got involved, I started out doing a little bit of work after I graduated from high school or whatever, and I was just try to go back and go give back to my community, man. Go speak at schools, try to get them inspired because I was using my platform as an artist to basically go perform. I always wanted to give an encouraging word. I ain't never just want to just give them a poem and a rap and just leave it at that. I always want to be somebody that the younger people could kind of talk to me, look for some guidance to, because I knew I had a story to tell, and I knew that I went through things that a lot of young black men and just young black children in general just go through. But even with all those mistakes I made, I still was able to overcome those. And so I just really wanted to just be a positive influence. And so I started out speaking, and then what it ended up turning into, as a performer, this place called Medium's Art Gallery. And I ended up going over there and just being a poet, hitting up the open mics every Friday. And then how it kind of snowballed over is I went from being just a guest, come up in there and just hit the open mic. It gave me an opportunity to host it every week. And so once I started hosting open mics every week, I was like, man, we can have fun over here, rap, sing, musicians come together, visual artists, all of that. But I had a vision of where I basically wanted to do something to give back to the community, because we were just a bunch of young black artists over there on Kavanaugh. I was like, man, we got to do more than just perform and show our artistry, man. We need to give back. So we started doing this thing called Anarchy Style Thursdays, where we actually, we helped businesses, we did our Black Business Expo. We did what we called the family reunion, where we taught Black history about people that they don't really talk about in school. We actually brought those figures to life and performed as them. You know what I'm saying? We would just have different causes where we donated to people like the watershed and different doing different outreach around town and stuff like that. And so we just want to do more than just show our artistry, man. We wanted to actually give back to the community and do something positive so other people could kind of have an opportunity to look at that and just be like, we can do the same thing. We were just basically trying to inspire each other. That's how I kind of started, man. And that's when I initially started doing it. So I did that pretty early on in the game. I realized that was going to be something I was passionate about.
And so is that when that passion became a lifestyle for you, when you started to just immerse yourself in the work and just start to, connect with the community?
Yeah, man, because man, I just stayed up to date on all the things that was going on in the current events, not only like globally and nationally, but locally. So, you know what I'm saying? I always was like trying to figure out what's going on in the city. I'm gonna go to these city hall meetings. I'm gonna go to the unity in the community meetings. You know, I just paid attention to what was going on because I realized that, like, you know, it's a lot of stuff that go on where people don't really necessarily have time throughout the day to just check on it. And so me being an artist, I kind of like made my own schedule a lot of the times. So I had time on my day to like if I want to know something, I just pull up. I go down to City Hall and figure out what's gonna be on the agenda for the meeting. You know, people will reach out to me like, hey man, did you hear about such and such, what's going on? And I get online and then reach out to people, see, hey, what can we do? Do y'all wanna protest? Do y'all wanna, you know what I'm saying, do y'all need somebody to speak out on your behalf? Like, what can we do? And so it became a lifestyle because, man, I basically just carved out a portion of my day to always stay up to speed on what's going on in the community. And so we got an issue with the police department, we got an issue with these schools. They was gonna hear from me and my peoples because, you know what I'm saying, we carved out, like I said, a portion of our day to just let everybody know, man, you can't just do it without us saying something, and, you know, it going unheard, you know? So.
Already. So talk to me about your journey and some of the successes that you had along your journey, and tell me about your long-term vision for your activism.
Man, basically, I say when you really get into it, like, you know, I remember like when one of the first protests that I helped put together was when Trayvon Martin had got killed. And, you know, we wanted to show our love and support to the Trayvon Martin family here in Little Rock, because we knew we couldn't go down to Florida. And so we set up like 2 protests, one over there on Wright Avenue and one downtown in Little Rock. And you know what I'm saying, I just got like a lot of backlash from like people I thought was like friends, and they were like, man, why are you talking about that? That ain't even affecting us. And, you know, different people just saying that I was just trying to be radical and I was just doing stuff just to, you know, rile people up. And you know what I'm saying, like I was trying to set people up to get arrested and stuff. And I was like, nah, man, protesting it ain't about like breaking no laws and all that type of stuff. It's really about, you know, using our voice and letting people know, like, man, this happened in Florida, but let it happen here, man, and you're gonna have an issue on your hands. So we just putting people on notice. But you know what I'm saying, so part of my journey has been like just kind of trying to re-educate people on like basically like, man, knowing your rights. And so, you know, especially with the youth, man. And so one thing about being an activist, you're gonna have to learn how to work with people.
Right.
You gotta learn how to work with people from different backgrounds. You gotta learn to work with people that don't necessarily agree with you all the time. But at the end of the day, you put yourself and your feelings to the side just to get the goals accomplished. And so it started out with like rallies, but then after that, man, I started doing working with the youth and like basically figuring out ways of how I could help the youth out. You know what I'm saying? What do they need? Do they need like scholarships? Do they need like assistance at home? Do their parents need somebody they could talk to so they could help them out, you know, to be that other person that, you know, kind of guiding and being a mentor for their child or whatever. And it ain't about talking over nobody's head. It's just basically like coming to them and like, look, man, I know this bill got 500 words up in here. Most of that stuff you can't even explain, but when you get to the meat of what's going on in this bill, guess what it's gonna do? It went from like community to like, now I pay attention to what's going on all around the state. And that's just kind of been a journey. I didn't even know I was going this way, man. I really was just trying to be an artist, man. I was just trying to rap. I was just trying to give a poem, man. Like most of my moves was just traveling around the states and performing in different clubs and in venues. But at the same time, I was everywhere I went, I was picking up them jewels and I was learning something, man, gaining that knowledge yourself. So I have had some successes, man, like I say, man, but I'm gonna say this right here and then I'm gonna try to finish answering this question. My successes are really like the successes of like seeing the fruits of my labor being out there in the community, man. Like if I inspire somebody to do this and go this direction and they come back like, big bro, man, we appreciate you, man. You was like looking out, you was telling us the truth. That's what I consider a success right there. It's like I don't really have a lot of accolades and awards and things of that nature. All I know is I've been a key person and a go-to person to help get some things accomplished out here in my community. And so it wasn't just me, it was a lot of people, but I was just a part of the process. And so, I mean, it just kind of, I didn't see it going this way, but I don't think nobody who knew me saw me going this way, man. It just became a passion of mine, and I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm grateful. I'm able to do the type of work that I do, man.
Already, you know, that's why they call it a journey, man. Like that's what it's all about. It's about the information that you acquire and your ability to share with the people that need to hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, in that same line, talk to me about some of the challenges that you faced on your journey as you've grown in your activism.
Man, the challenges, man, like I say, man, really real talk, the challenges, man, is every day, man. Man, people, you be surprised, man, the type of people you just think that, like, you just doing this for attention. Nah, man, I'm an artist, man. If I want to do something for attention, man, all I gotta do is put up a mic and just get on stage and just start performing if I want some attention. I do this because I really want to help people out, but people don't understand a lot of times. It's like, you know, you might get tired of seeing me complain, or I might always seem a little serious online or whatever. But, man, this is nothing, man, compared to what's already going on in the community, man. Like, if you mad about me trying to work for some change out here, then you really bored, man. You bored and you pay attention to the wrong stuff, like, man, like. Yeah,
you part of the problem, really, right?
Yeah, man, I don't complain about stuff that I ain't trying to work and fix. It's unhealthy to be in stressed out situations. So stress is like really one of the main challenges, because it's like, I tell people all the time, man, like once I got more and more immersed into like doing activism and civic engagement, I had to literally every day make a decision when I was on my way to the house. What was I gonna do for myself that day to put a smile on my face? And so you gotta remind yourself, like, hey man, I need to pick me up every day. I don't care if it was the smallest thing. It might have just been, hey, let me just go give me a nice little meal, or let me go watch a little movie or something, you know what I'm saying, end my day on a positive note, do something I want to do. But, you know, so dealing with that, and then just, you know, it's always some opposition in the community, man, you know what I'm saying? You really, like, I was real big on, like, trying to change law enforcement, and I still am here. And so just, you know what I'm saying, just getting the negative feedback is like, it's like, man, every time something happened, it ain't always the cop fault. I'm not blaming every cop for doing something like that. I'm just saying, like, man, we need some transparency. I know your dad or your uncle or your brother is a cop. I don't mean I hate that person. I'm just telling you, like, you know, what they would do in any situation in the community is try to, you know, preach for some transparency and try to work around the issues. When I was getting my knowledge of self, man, they told me to question everything. Not everything is questioned, not because everything should be questionable, but it's like you can only trust one person research, your own. And so, you know what I'm saying, trusting what you know is like, is key.
No doubt. And a lot of times, man, when you push it for change, people fail to understand that change comes with growing pains. You know what I mean? Like, it's some necessary discomfort that has to happen in order for things to improve. And oftentimes that can be the main challenge, is getting people to deal with that discomfort. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. That's what a lot of people don't fail to realize is, like, man, you know, when things are comfortable, man, that's when you really need to be on high alert. Because, you know what I'm saying, when you comfortable, that's when stuff gets snuck in on you. And it's the same way we talk about the government, all this stuff. And I think right now, we in this pandemic right now. We seen how everybody just getting caught off guard. I know a lot of people was making a lot of good money, and then all of a sudden their job just shut down. And now you got to depend on your savings. Now automatically you done went from middle class to poor just like that. And it's not nothing to be ashamed of. Just saying, you know what I'm saying, when you least expect it, when you don't got no backup plan at all, least expected, you see how life can come at you that fast. We learning right now, but the thing we can do is, you know, take this as a learning experience and be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Or try to be better prepared next time something like this happens.
No doubt. But in that same line, what advice would you give to a young person, or what advice do you give to young people who want to be active in their community and become more engaged?
I just say, man, what you could do, just starting off, is just be aware of what's going on in your community, man. It could be just as simple as, you know what I'm saying, just taking walks through your community, asking people in your community questions about like how things work out, like, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, what do I need to be paying attention to, what can I do to improve, what can we do to help young people out, what can we do to help the elders in the community, what can we do make sure kids got enough school supplies, or, you know, do we need to do clothing drives, do we need to feed people? And so I just tell the youth, like, you know what I'm saying, just ask questions, see where you can help out at. If it's volunteering, if it's tutoring, if it's mentoring, if it's going out in the community with a trash bag and just, you know, picking up trash in the neighborhood. But when people see that you got an interest in like community development, you know, they're gonna start tugging and pulling at you, and you're gonna see they can point you in the right direction to actually go out there and help the community out. And I always tell people this, you know what I'm saying, like, I know when I was younger, I did enough in my community to destroy it. So when I took the opportunity on myself to go ahead and like give back to the community, I said, what I tried to destroy it once, I'm gonna try to help rebuild. So I just tell youth, like, find somebody you can talk to about what's going on in your community. And then at the same time, don't be afraid to, like, you know, let your light shine and tell your story, because I guarantee you, man, it's way easier for us to make a difference in our communities, being the people that people recognize and have always been a part of the community, than like some total outsiders and strangers coming in there and just trying to do some stuff. So I just say, you know, just be straightforward and you know, try to make a difference in your community and talk to people in your community that can help you out. And if not, man, just gather you and your friends together. Just do something positive, man. Nobody trying to stop no positivity, man, you know?
Already. Never that. So, with that being said, man, tell us where we can find out more about you and the work that you're doing.
Already, man. Got a few ways you can do that. I'm gonna shout out the podcast, the Fold and Chair Podcast.
No doubt.
The Fold and Chair Podcast has basically got started to basically talk about the racial equity aspect of every issue in the community and how we could work together to resolve these issues. So that podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, a bunch of different podcasts and streaming platforms. Also, man, online, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Osyrus Bolly. Hey, just find me, man. I got the same name on all the different platforms. I use my social media platforms to promote, like, work with the community, work with the youth. And so, like, we promote, like, basically people knowing their rights, civic engagement. We always got a lawyer that's willing to talk to the community so they ain't just listen, like, because I can't help you in court. I can support you, I can, you know what I'm saying, but I can't give you no legal advice. That ain't my field. But what I can do is plug you with the right people. And we always talking about elections, man. We know this is very important to put the people that we want to see in places of power. We know that we need to give them as much support as we can. And we ain't talking about the national election. We talking about what's going on in the state and in the city. And anything that I can be involved with that's positive, man, I always make sure I got some time to do that and lend a hand when I can, man. So I work with a lot of different groups, from anywhere from volunteering to working with the boards, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, doing whatever I can to, you know what I'm saying, just like I said, promote positivity and change. So all you gotta do is follow me online, and then, you know what I'm saying, you'll see all the things that I'm working around. But I'm definitely always gonna be an activist in the community, working with the youth and doing as much as I can to, you know, just be on that mission for real.
No doubt. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to stop by the show with us today, man. We're proud of you and all the work that you're doing in the community and for the community. And we're definitely excited to see you be a visionary that's creating change for people like you and me. So everybody, y'all go hit Osyrus up on his social sites. And up next on this Black is Lit, we're gonna have our word of the day. Y'all stay safe.
Already free Kenneth Reams.
No doubt.
Advocate. Verb. To speak or write in favor of. Support or urge by argument. To recommend publicly. Advocate for your community. Create the change you want to see.
I know you're gonna dig this.